everything that he's been through in life, the whole nine, everything that he's represented, being a man and being representing what a man should be. He's always been quiet, reserved, never shared anything about his life really with anybody or any other person, staying pretty much low key. Now, if you start thinking big picture and moving from there, when you heard the news, it was shocking because he doesn't really share a lot of things, and most men don't normally do that anyway. Most men kind of keep whatever they battling inside as they move along through life. Just how men operate. Now, what's happening with Krazie Bone? Because a lot of people ask me, what's up with Krazie? What's up, Bear? Uh, well, what's up with him is that this is him suffering from the effects and what's transpiring from sarcoidosis. And sarcoidosis is a lung disease where there's scarring on the lungs itself. And due to this scarring on the lungs, it calls for painful coughing, and sometimes even blood comes up because you have a lot of scar tissue on your lungs. I learned a lot about it when Floyd Mayweather Sr., Floyd Mayweather's father, was suffering from sarcoidosis. Before he started getting treatment and taking care of it, it was really bad for him at that time. Now, others might look at the situation a little differently, meaning that other people might find situations of proprietary a little different than the way we look at proprietary of things that need to be taken care of. He probably was putting things off for a while and decided when was going to be best for him to do something for himself. And from what I heard, he had been sick, like should have been like admitted to a hospital probably about for a month. He has really been like not well. And just got to a point where he wasn't taking care of it. And 2 days ago, he was admitted to the hospital because blood was coming up at a considerable rate when he was coughing. He was coughing up a lot of blood because his lungs was filling up with fluid because he had ruptured an artery in one of his lungs. And by rupturing an artery in his lung, it caused for an effect of excess bleeding. Which is cause for an emergency surgery. Where they do a BAE, and that's like a bronchitis, arrhythmic, I forgot what the E stands for. But this is when they go to your groin area and they cut like 2 to 3 inches and then protrude this tube all the way from your groin area. You don't even need stitches to cover it up, the hold, but it's about 2 to 3 inches. Yep, they cut you open and from your groin area, and they run a tube all the way up to your lungs to try to fix it and do the surgery from there. Modern technology. So he's not able to breathe on his own to keep him from coughing and doing damage to his lungs. They put him on a ventilator and anesthesia, and they put you under while they run this procedure. No. Yeah, it's life-threatening. It's critical because they couldn't stop the bleeding. So when you do something and it's continuously bleeds, that makes people have to go back and restart all over again and figure out what is really causing, this bleeding. So yes, it's critical, but I don't think it's at the stage of terminal. But yes, anything could go wrong and be terminal in a hospital situation. My cousin had a broken arm at 5 years old, goes into a hospital and comes out dead. Fell down and broke her wrist. In the hospital doing surgery on the wrist, gave the child too much anesthetic. And then I lose a cousin while she was 5. So yeah, anything can happen in a hospital. Yeah, they did the BAE and there was still bleeding. He still continued to bleed. So they had to go in and do another procedure to try to stop the bleeding, because at that time he just kept bleeding after the surgery was done. But had he not went to the hospital, he would have probably been deceased within 24 hours. This is why I tell and I urge people to go get a checkup. Even myself, I'm guilty of it myself. I'm not above that. We got to go get checked up on and go through the tests. Even though, as black men, we don't really trust hospitals. I'm going on a walk right now, as you can see. Nothing's guaranteed, period. Nothing has ever been guaranteed. Well, adjustments always had to be made for inconsistencies or whatever the problems may be in life. Adjustments always had to be made. Allowances were made for people. You know, as men, we don't get things checked out, and it's like, if we did it earlier, this would have prevented this. Men just put on their boots and continue working and keep moving. That's just how we are. But had we trusted the process of the doctors to fix whatever the problem may have been, then these situations wouldn't exist. Nobody eats worse than the African American male. From candy and sugars put in our body, and we're able to live way beyond times that are unthinkable. Think about it. Our grandmothers and grandfathers ate terribly. They didn't have a diet plan. They ate pig feet, chitlins, neck bones, ham hocks. They ate all that salty food and everything. And they're going 80 years strong each time. And it's like, how they living this long, eating so bad? Well, I sweat when it's time to sweat. Other than that, I don't. Because if you put the work in, as I looked at my grandparents, my grandfather was active. So he was always working, putting in the work, burning it off. My grandmother, she worked 24 hours a day around the house. She burned about 1,000 calories just doing stuff. I don't know what they doing to my oh, they must have been showing an ad or something. But now the conditioning is entire food activity amongst humans Humans do not really go out and walk anymore, mostly African Americans. We don't walk unless we're going somewhere. Oh yeah. Oh, you talking about something entirely different. No, your general health is what's important, people. He's been diagnosed with this condition since 2016. Now, here's what people are gonna say. He took the jab, and that's what did him in. One, from what I was told, he did not take the jab.
And I'm like, okay, sure.
Because of his condition that he had anyway, he was not going to take something experimental. So he was not taking the jab. So let's address those rumors now. So the rumors were, he took the jab. Then he came out with the video talking about what went down in the hip hop meeting with these bosses who was making up this plan to tear down hip hop. And these guys were swore not to speak about the meeting. And they had to sign a piece of paper. And he went live talking about it. And they said, oh, they got him. Because his interview was going viral again. So they had to come take him down for what he was saying. There's no truth to that. But he already had sarcoidosis before any of that. He just went and got diagnosed. Well, sugar is a killer. And as black men, we consume a lot of it. And the older you get, those effects change once your metabolism changes. Once your metabolism slows down, that's when you start having more problems when you're consuming this. We're probably the most obese race. You see us at 12, 15 kids all overweight, boys, girls, all overweight. Lack of activities, lack of going outside, doing events, not eating right, drinking, and putting toxins in your body at a very young age. Smoking too much weed. Yes, it's bad for you. Smoking too much weed causes paranoia, It causes a lot of different effects on people that they should recognize and not ignore and act like it doesn't exist when it clearly does. 1 year. Like once I hit 50, my grades just started showing up. Drinking water is the best thing for you. But if you drink too much water, you'll drown. Well, unfortunately, a lot of black couples don't walk. You look right now, I see all these couples walking. They walking the dog, they walking together, taking walks. Yeah. Yes, you could drown for drinking too much water. You didn't know that? You could drown yourself. That sounds stupid. Well, it's true. You want to try it? Go ahead. Keep drinking to the point where you can't drink anymore. Then, yeah, keep drinking. And your body will automatically say, that's enough. You can't drink no more water. Well, it depends on what's sleeping too much. Some people could sleep 12 hours a day. Depends on what the state of your body is in. The older you are, the more sleep your body requires to function. You fatigue earlier. When you get to your 70s, your body starts to fatigue, so longer periods of sleep is required. That's why most people are retired and they go into what they call senior status. So you don't see most people 70 out here working. Feel me? He says it's called hypotrachea or whatever. And what is hypotrachea? Drowning yourself by drinking water. Now, I can't drink 8 cups of water. Now, if I'm playing basketball, yeah, I could probably do 8 cups of water. No, he did not take the jab, from what I was told prior then, that he's actually admitted before he has not taken it because he has his sarcoidosis. Krazie Bone did not take the jab. He was not going to take something that was experimental when he already was suffering from a condition. Was it C19 that started it? Don't know. Uh, I won't rule it yay or nay on any of it. All I can tell you is this. He was completely 100%. And I did say 100%, right? Okay. He was 100% suffering from sarcoidosis, which is scarring on the inside of your lungs. And if you're not treating it, or you're not doing the things you're properly supposed to do, and change your diet up and the way you're living, it could take you down. Like, my body can't take high traits of sugar anymore. Like, when I was a kid, I used to love to put sugar on on my flakes, my bran flakes. Take 2 spoons of sugar. Now, I don't even want sugar on my bran flakes. Not at all. I have an auntie who was a type 2 diabetic, and she had to go on pretty much an entire binge of correcting herself. But I knew from the way she used to eat. I went over there I think we had breakfast over there. And I swear, I'm like, who's all coming here to eat all this food? It was chocolate covered pancakes with syrup. I'm like, you put chocolate syrup on the pancakes, then put syrup too? Strawberries is on there, not supposed to make it healthy? And it was like nothing but sugar and cakes and all this stuff on the table. I'm like, where the hell am I? Who eats like this? It's only 4 of us. get your magnesium on. Well, sometimes it depends on what you eat in the day, getting a balanced meal. Like somebody was taking Centrum, A through zinc, and they're taking all these multivitamins, and they're good for you until you've had too much. That's the problem. They're good till you've had too much. Well, people forget that food has vitamins in them. So if you take multivitamins with the fact that you've consumed a lot of food, you're having an over intake on some of the vitamins, which will cause a lot of problems for you health-wise. Normally your body reacts by vomiting. You would throw all that up. Then after that fact, you will go to another process, the process of incoherence. Your vision might be blurred because you lack the vitamin C. Too much sodium is responsible for that. So you never want to be out there involved in something that you clearly don't understand. Exactly. Um, no, that's just naturally. If anybody fall down for anything, they're gonna say it was the jab. No matter what, it's the jab. You took the jab. That's why you fell. I knew it. Joe Biden took the jab, and look, you keep falling. He wasn't falling like that till you took the jab. Oh, what's up, Kev? Thanks for the super chat. Yes, and thanks for the Cash App donations too, you guys. I appreciate that this weekend. I'm gonna answer y'all questions too. Yes, my Cash App is Carceno, which is Karceno, in case people want to donate and they use Cash App. Yeah, a lot of people use Cash App, and that's cool. Yes, on the Patreon, we go into Jada Pinkett Smith's life as a drug dealer. Yeah. A lot of y'all didn't know Jada was a drug dealer. I could find a use for that somewhere. Yeah, but when you have a truth talks, it's hard to get sponsored behind all of this. Oh yeah, I know some crazy Bone Thug stories. Some Bone Thugs and Harmony stories. Gee, it's a lot of them. But they so psychotic. Because the larger they got, the worse things became for them. Y'all got that video by accident. That was the wrong video. That was a Patreon video that ended up airing on YouTube. That video was old. That's why people on Patreon are like, wait, I remember this. I'm like, yeah, I accidentally put it and aired it. I aired the wrong video by mistake. I was supposed to air the Nicki Minaj video and accidentally aired that video. That video was never supposed to be public. Oh, Q-Bell had the same procedure? Yeah, what they do is, it's called a BAE, and they go through your groin. They make a little 2-inch incision and run the tube through there and run it all the way up to your lung, and able to do the procedure that way to stop the bleeding. The thing with Krazie Bone is the first procedure didn't stop the bleeding, so they had to do another procedure. So they got him on anesthetic and a breathing machine and got him sedated so that his lungs can heal, so it won't be any coughing, give his lungs time to heal himself. Yeah, I know. I was listening to that. I was like, I can't believe this got monetized. With all the curse words that was flying in that one. I was like, man, towards the end, I'm just like, man, I was like, curse bombs was flying all over through the video. That's why I'm like, this video wasn't even supposed to air. That's why it says Patreon in the front. I'm like, wait a minute. It's not supposed to be aired. I hit the wrong video. I was supposed to be playing the Nicki Minaj video right now. Like, I got another video sitting up there ready to go. The Jeezy video. Oh, people finna crack up off that one. A lot of them gonna be surprised. Oh, you had something blocking the blood from getting to the foot? Oh, okay. I got soreness in the back of my heel. I mean, the back of like my Achilles. It's sore like all the time. I don't know if I'm finna pull a Kevin Durant or what. So I'm like, I ain't balling no more. No more hooping till this thing fully heals. #1 fan of Dwight Howard. Yeah, that'll do it. Right exercise, you'll knock that right out. Most people who pass away from being a diabetic can't make the adjustment of changing their diet to save, even to save their own lives. That becomes a bigger problem. Even when it's to save their own life, you know? Well, I'm active. I gotta do stuff now, like it's laundry day. You know, I'm finishing up the laundry. Gotta get in there, do that. Put the clothes away. But I do this to myself. I let this stuff pile up too long. Now that I watched all of it, I gotta put it away. Rams and Bucks tonight. I thought the Eagles was playing the Bucks. The Rams just beat the Vikings. I don't know what Omar Gooden was talking about. Talking about Tyrese for. He ain't got no complaint. And why is he opening his mouth? That ain't got nothing to do with anything. But shouts out to oh no, that was the Chargers that beat the Vikings. Yeah, Rams play the Bengals tonight. The Bongos. After the Raiders let me down with Josh McDaniels, we're not going to go for it. We're going to kick the field goal mentality. To me, which is stupid. Taking your offense off of the field and you're at the 8-yard line. It's 4th and 4. Either we win or we lose the game right here. Either way, if we don't get it, they get the ball on the 4-yard line. So let's say we don't get the touchdown. You're going to still need a touchdown anyway. I hate that philosophy. You got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. What's kicking the field goal going to do when you really got to boot the ball back to them, stop them 3 times? They're going to punt the ball back to you. You might as well go for it on the 4-yard line or wherever they were at. I think they ran to the 4. So they got to the 4-yard line, and then it's 4th and goal at the 4. If you stop them, they on the 4-yard line. You still got 3 timeouts. So you still down 8. You still in the same predicament, but you're in a good position to get the ball back and good field position. If you don't get the touchdown. That scenario here never works. Ever. When they decide we did that dumb shit, we gonna just field goal. And as soon as they kick the field goal, no, they your Bears. I'm through with them. You can have them. It's double bubble day for you. Double bubble. The Ravens got screwed out of the game, which screwed me out my money. So I was not happy about that. Ravens got completely screwed out of the game. That messed up everybody. The guy stepped out of bounds, which is a safety. The quarterback stepped out of bounds. That was a safety. They're looking right at it and didn't call it. The Colts quarterback stepped right out of bounds, which was a safety, and cost us the game. On one sheet, I took the Colts in the 8. I knew the Ravens wouldn't cover the 8. But still, you don't cheat me like that. There were a lot of calls in that game. That was terrible. But let me go ahead and finish folding this laundry. I'll get back to y'all directly. Deuces.